Ask the right questions, and nature will open the doors to her secrets. This famous quote was quoted by Sir C.V. Raman, the famous Indian physicist. And with that, we guys are going to start our physics fundas to raise the right questions. With the topic that we guys are going to discuss today is nothing but acceleration. So, what do we mean by acceleration now? You may have drive any vehicle or a bicycle. At least if you are a toddler, you may have ride a bicycle or even a baby bicycle. If after some time you realize that if you are not paddling, the cycle stops. Why is it so? It is completely due to the friction. We know that there is some friction between the road, the surface of the road and the tires, and due to that friction, the cycle stops. But what if there is no friction? If the surface is very smooth, if a skiing is there is a very smooth surface, ice. They are moving on the ice, skating on the ice. Correct. So what then? Then they have to apply some certain force, but obvious in the opposite direction to the motion. Let us assume that it is, you can laugh on it. I know that my drawing is very beautiful, but we are going to laugh on it. So a skier is skipping on the ice, and it is very smooth surface. Of course it is a hilly area. Of course it is not as small as it has been seen, it is seen, but it is a hilly area, and he or she wants to stop. What should be done by her or him? He or she has to apply some force. Correct? But in which direction? If it is moving in this direction, he or she has to apply the force in the opposite direction. Then he or she can stop. Correct? This is the whole idea. Fine. The force in the opposite direction of the motion. So, what is acceleration? It is change in velocity. It is change in velocity. Here what will happen? The velocity of that particular skipper is going to be decreased. Correct? So here it happens, the change in velocity is nothing but acceleration. And there is another term that is called deceleration, or generally it can be termed as a retardation. So what do we mean by retardation? If the change in velocity is positive, that means its velocity is increasing. Velocity increasing, then it is acceleration. So here it is not acceleration. What is here? Here it is deceleration. So where we can find the acceleration? Let us assume that धूम मचाले धूम धूम. You are riding a bike. Ah, very beautiful bike. See, there isn't any kind of chain or no. Let us assume that you are riding a bicycle only. So you guys are going to pedal up, or the bikes. Generally, the bikes. What are the with bikes? Bikes bikes, scooters, scooties had something called accelerator. Correct or not? If you are accelerating more, we are generally calling that as accelerator. Correct enough? We are generally calling that as an accelerator, but it is actually an accelerator. So what does that accelerator does? It consumes more fuel. correct na? Consumes more fuel. Consumes more fuel, then what will happen? Your engines are going to be boosted, correct? Your engines are going to be move faster and faster, and as a result the velocity is going to be increased, and that is nothing but the acceleration. So if change in velocity is positive, it is acceleration. If the change in velocity is negative, it is going to be deceleration or retardation. That we can generally consider that. Fine. Now, what will happen to my acceleration? Is it so that Earth is moving? Correct? Yes or no? Yes, of course. Earth is moving with some speed. So there must be some gravitational acceleration on the Earth. It is called g. The gravitational acceleration is nothing but 9.8 meters per second square. Now, how does that 9.8 meters per second square, or the in particular at present we are concerned about the meter per second square equation only. So the equation can only let us know from where that meter per second square comes in. So for that we guys have to define or derive the equation of that particular quantity, that is called acceleration. As we have discussed earlier, acceleration is nothing but change in velocity. Change in velocity. Of course, with respect to whom? With respect to time. With respect to change in time. Correct? It is not going to be so that you guys are going to continue. Oh, the time is not going to be stopped at all. You guys cannot reverse back the time, or you cannot fasten the time unless you can do the time travel. For that you need a very specific and very accurate physics. Of course, the machines that can follow that particular physics. It is generally believed that black holes are actually the passage within two different universes. In one maybe that another universe is another reality, or maybe that another universe could be your past, or you could be your future, and each and every universe contains numerous black holes, and as a result you can infinitely move from one black hole to another black hole, and as a result move from one point to another point infinitely without harming yourself. Theoretically it is possible. It may be possible in future practically, if some of you are going to be a very tremendous physicist and can make some machines which can travel through the black hole, and of course not only travel through the pass through the black hole and reach to the another end of the black hole. That could be possible. Fine. But here we have to, in particular we are going to back with our current topic, that is acceleration, change in velocity upon change in time. So of course now up till now we know that what is change in velocity, that is meter per second distance upon time taken, correct? So change in time is second, so we guys can say that it is nothing but meters per second square. So here now the question for you people is that suppose that you guys are going to move within a left. Fine. Of course, let me consider myself only, not you people. And suddenly, what happens is this particular string breaks down. What will happen to me? What will be my acceleration? That I want to know. That you guys have to find out. That you guys have to find out. I'm repeating myself. What you guys have to find out is, if I am moving in in a lift, and suddenly the wire of the lift breaks out, and as a result it falls towards the surface of the earth. So what would be my acceleration? That you guys have to find out, correct? So today one book I will recommend to you people is For the Love of Physics. For the Love of Physics by Professor Walter Levin. He is one of the best teachers. Of course, I had not met him in person, but I had learned from him a lot, and he is a wonderful teacher. As per as he is a professor at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. Correct. So, if you find it that physics very difficult, I can assure you that if you guys are going to go through this particular book or even his lectures only, then you may certainly fall for the physics. So keep calm and love physics. Thank you very much, guys.